old Weary used to howl out this chorus?
You miss old Weary, don't you?
People who love dogs shouldn't own them. They don't live long enough.
Ain't that the truth?
They grow old and you see them suffer.
Yeah. Sure breaks you up.
And then people say that you shouldn't let them stay in pain.
That's what Letty said.
She talked to you about Weary?
Sure. That stuff she bought to put him away was absolutely painless.
What are you talking about?
That poison for the dog.
Weary wasn't poisoned. He died of old age.
Now listen, I sold her the stuff myself.
Well, Letty didn't tell me anything about it.
Well, I even wrote it down someplace. I'm going to look it up for you. Old Sure Death, I call it. It's my own mixture. One pinch and you wake up being measured for a harp.
It's not like Letty to do it without telling me. However...
And when I die, don't bury me at home.
Bury me at home.
Just pickle my bones.
Just pickle my bones.
In alcohol.
In alcohol.
Put a bottle of booze.
Put a bottle of booze.
At my head and feet.
My head and feet.
And then I'll know.
And then I'll know.
My bones will keep.
My
Letty,
Yes, Harry.
why don't you come up?
May I?
Why aren't you in bed?
I couldn't sleep until I talked to you.
You shouldn't be out at this hour. Your first day out of bed.
I wanted to explain.
Oh, well, I'm afraid I rather lost control of myself this afternoon, Letty. I'm sorry.
I'm so glad you aren't angry with me anymore. We were all dreadful this afternoon.
Forget it. After all, we still got to go on living together. Go on being the Quinces, the sensible Quinces.
Oh, Harry. I do hope we shall be sensible from now on.
Like old times?
Like old times, reading, talking, surrounded by our own things in our own house. After all, we are the only two people in Corinth with the same understanding of books and art and...
Do you think we can pick up our life where we left it off?
If you want to.
You know, Letty, when you look up at the stars, you feel awfully small. Our problems seem so petty against all that space on space out there. We are mere drops of nothing compared to a sun that has 100 million miles for a backyard. So why do we torture ourselves trying to discover what's good and what's evil? What's right and what's wrong. It's so unimportant.
Yes, Harry. We understand each other.
Yes, we do. You better go into the house before you catch cold.
Would you like to drink a cup of cocoa with me? Nona has it ready.
Yes. Yes, of course. Now, watch your step. You remember when you fell once on your 16th birthday?
Oh, don't talk about it. I nearly broke my neck.
You're catching cold.
It's chilly.
How's Hester?
Let's look at the stars. Which one is Saturn?
You know, I do think you should forgive Hester. I'm sure she didn't mean any harm in what she said.
Very well. We'll make up. Do you remember how you always made us make up when we were children?
Like when you pushed her into the brook?
She looked so silly and damp with water pouring out of her sleeves.
It's been ready a long time.
Thank you. That'll be all, Nona. Good night.
Good night.
It's good to be alone for a change.
Yes. This is a friendly old house. It doesn't creak like most of them.
Now you're trying to frighten me like you used to when Papa sent us to bed early. I'm cold. You pour. I'll be back.
I brought some more hot milk. The cocoa's a little thick. But this'll help it.
Oh, thank you, Nona. That's fine.
Mr. Harry, I want to ask you something.
Yeah, well, not now, Nona. Some other time. I'm feeling rather tired.
I'm meeting Hugo later. He wants to go into business for himself.
Well, I'm sure he'll be very successful.
But Mr. Harry, he wants me to take out my savings to buy some cows and go into the milk business for himself. Of course, Pete will always drink milk, I hope.
Yes, I'm sure they will. Now, don't keep Hugo waiting.
20 years I've been wanting to marry that man. Now he wants to marry me. And I don't want to. Holy Toledo, me beans. I've given them too much flame. Oh, they'll be burnt to death. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Esther says to say good night. She'll have her cocoa upstairs. This is nice, isn't it? People don't understand how pleasant and comfortable living in a small town can be.
I'll pour some for Hester and take it up to her.
My, it's sweet. I wonder who that could be at this hour. I'll go. Hello? Who? It's for you, Harry. It sounds like Ben, and he's a bit drunk, if you ask me.
Too much ale, I suppose.
I'll take this up to Hester. I nearly spilt it.
Hello, Ben. Look, I can't make sense of what you're saying. Speak louder. Oh, you're at the drugstore. It's in your book? Oh, she did buy it. Well, look, Better go to bed and get some sleep. You sound a bit drunk, Ben.
What did Ben want?
Oh, they're still singing at the club. They wanted me back at the piano.
Oh, Hester says thanks for the cocoa.
Did you two make up?
Yes, I forgave her. Harry, darling, you look so tired.
Yes, I am a little.
You need a change. We've all been cooped up here too much.
Yes.
3 women in one house. It would strain any man's nerves.
Yes, it's been a strain on all of us.
Yes. Well, we can forget it now. Harry, I've been thinking. Why don't we go away someplace? Maine, for instance, fishing.
Yes, why not? I believe our rods are still up in the carriage house someplace.
Oh, it would be fun. We could rent one of those wonderful little log cabins. Do you remember those streams? Trout as big as cod.
What about Hester?
Oh, Hester'll be happier here at home, pottering about. Come here. Do you remember the first trout I caught? It looks like Mrs. Nelson with her mouth open. And there's our old boat. I wonder if we could get the same boat again.
I suppose so.
Oh, Harry, when can we leave?
What's happened to Hester?
Oh, Hester's so clumsy. Oh. She must be ill. She's dead. It wasn't meant for Hester, was it?
What's happened? Miss Hester! So you did it. You said you wanted to get rid of her, and you did. How could you? Your own flesh and blood, your own sister.
Are you mad? Go and get Dr. Adams.
Oh, I didn't know you had it in you. Poor Miss Hester. Operator, Adams, Dr. Adams, Redmond Street. Hurry, hurry.
Nona seems to have gone out of her mind.
I wonder if the jury will think so.
Harry.
I'm sorry, lady, but that's the way things are.